It's been one day since the train left Los Angeles, which is obvious to you because Los Angeles doesn't get rain anymore. In fact, there's so much rain not in Los Angeles that the rest of America is flooding. And the train is 8 hours behind schedule. Excuse the hanger in my voice, because if we can ever reach the end of this tunnel, there's a light, and it's Texas barbecue. My name is Clara Ritger, and I'm an amateur cook, professional eater, and documentary filmmaker. For 10 days, I took a train across the country to tell the stories of revitalizing communities through the lens of food. This is the Great American Cooking Story.
Sort of slow because I don't really know some of these places myself.
Meet Jane. She's my guide to Austin.
Because it was live music.
Luckily, we brought backup.
Food.
Slight left onto Rosewood Avenue.
Thanks, Siri. We've only got 3 hours to explore the city, but we're going to hit up 2 revitalizing neighborhoods. Jane is familiar with this side of Austin. Over here, on Rainey Street, is where her husband's food truck is. This is her husband, Emmanuel, but we'll get to him later. First, we're headed toward this side of Austin, on Rosewood Avenue. You might know this neighborhood because of this guy, Aaron Franklin. Here's Anthony Bourdain waiting in line to try his barbecue. Here's President Obama cutting the line to try his barbecue. And here's Franklin Barbecue when I came by. All sold out for the day. Thanks, Obama. Just a little further on down Rosewood Avenue, though, are 2 other kick-ass Texas barbecue joints, Mickleweight Craft Meats and Three Little Pigs. See, it doesn't matter how many barbecue joints you pack into a Texas neighborhood, there's still not going to be any barbecue left for this hangry caterpillar.
I woke up and there was a lot of flood warnings and all that stuff. It wasn't raining yesterday when we were open or today when we were open, so yeah, it was slammed both days. We sold out early, about as early as we can. Watch your step.
This from the rain yesterday?
Yes, ma'am. So, here's our smoker. Usually in here we have briskets and chicken and pulled pork and sausage. We make our own sausage here, fresh every morning. It's a little food truck crazy here in Austin. There's one every block, it seems like, and it's a lot more affordable to open a food trailer than it is to open a brick and mortar. And I think you'll find that you can get just as good a product at a lot of the trailers here in Austin that you can in some of the restaurants, some of the nicer restaurants. We love this neighborhood. There's certainly pros and cons that comes with this type of growth. I'm sure there's really cool, really good people here in this part of town who are probably having a hard time paying their property taxes. I don't know that gentrification is the greatest thing in the world, but I mean, it's just the way it is here in Austin, and it's the way the world is, and what are you gonna do?
Can I have you put this on and just introduce yourself?
My name is Raymond Tatum, and I'm an Austin, Texas native, and this is my wonderful food truck, Three Little Pigs. Y'all come and enjoy it. I like pigs. I think they're just really cool animals. I think pigs are the most versatile animal in the world as far as what you can do with them. Curing and smoking and stir frying. I'm not really that good at picking out names, but I had thought that the crew would probably be 3 people, and that's where Three Little Pigs came from. I couldn't even count how many people have told me this is the best food they've ever eaten anywhere. That makes me feel good that I can take something a little bit cheaper and, still make it, work to be where it's just, awesome food at a good, at a really good price.
What do you hope people feel when they eat your food?
Love. because that's what I'm doing. I'm creating something that, you know, is a part of me, and I want them to be a part of that. I could never think of doing anything else other than, you know, pleasing people through food. As far as changes, there just, you know, used to be a lot of bad stuff, you know, in this area of town. You know, lots of prostitution and, you know, drugs and stabbings and shootings and stuff. The neighborhood has just changed. But to me, I've been here a little over 4 years, and it's just so peaceful over here. I think a lot of the people that used to live in this area right here have moved farther east because of the development, properties, you know, getting more expensive and not affordable to the people that used to live here. So that's what's, you know, kind of brought in the value of all the properties up. And there's a lot of food trucks that are associated with these bars here, but that's not really what I particularly care to do. That's just hungry people out late, drinking, just needing something to eat. And that's what I like about being just by myself. I like to be more of a destination place. I want people to come here because that's where they want to go. I don't want to just feed, you know, hungry, drunk people. But and like I say, it's just a real peaceful and laid back.
If you want to know what Rosewood will look like 5 years from now, here it is. Keep it weird, Austin.
Decade or more ago, it was a very, very dangerous black ghetto. But there was some really talented musicians that lived there, and the area became sort of known, like a lot of places, for fantastic live music. And then just these little shanty houses sort of became bars, and people started to buy these very cheap, you know, shanty houses and sort of make them into bars. And it's become a real night spot. But because they're bars, there's one or two restaurants, but mostly it's bars in the Rainey Street, and so people would want food, so a lot of food trucks started coming there.
To get to Rainey Street, it's a quick hop over I-35, the dividing line between the east and the west. We're headed west to the land of opportunity and wealth, where longhorns find that their cups runneth over and the music never dies. There's a saying in real estate that explains the different fortunes of these two neighborhoods. Something about location, I think.
So this is going to be luxury apartments, and they will be very, very expensive apartments, which is interesting because with these expensive apartments, underneath the apartment building, they have little delicatessens and shops with very, very high, expensive priced food. But the people can afford it. You know, like a chocolate bar for $8 or something. So that starts to change the whole economy of the street. So here's another example of an old house that's been converted into a bar. And there's many on the street, of course, like this. In fact, there's more entrepreneurs that want to make bars out of houses than there are houses that are available to be bought. And initially, the old broken down shanties were just like, you know, $20,000, $30,000, then $100,000 and $200,000. But in the last year, where it's become frenetic, the last house on the street went for a couple of $1 million, just a broken down old house, because it was one of the last ones left that could be bought to be made into a bar. So it's a really thriving night spot. You should come back here at night, late at night. This is when right now is really actually calm. At night, you can barely walk along the street or the pavements. It's packed with people.
I couldn't imagine it being much busier. But busy is great for her husband Emmanuel, who runs a popular Greek food truck on the block.
You find everything in Rainey Street, everything. One day I was in the airport, in an airplane, and I see Rainey Street inside the magazine of the Delta Airlines. It was fantastic. It was like, wow, look at this. trucks is very important in Austin. I fell in love with the city because he reminds me of Greece a little bit with the small houses and trees around. Once I visited Rainey Street, I said, here is a great opportunity. So, and I was not wrong, because after that, all these bars, it was only 2 bars, you know, when I come here, and now you see, if you can see the street, it's full of bars, full of businesses, and a lot of people. So it was a great, great decision of me, and because also I love Rainey Street, and this street is the best for me in Austin, Texas. So not only for business, but for make friends. That's it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Deal. So, but for being partners, you know what we have to do?
What's that?
Costa, come here. Look at this. Okay, imagine with the music.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to do it.
I like to be this food truck to make the Greek food for the customers and for friends. Because friends and customers, for us, it's like the same thing. We try to make the customers feel like they are like our friends.
For the record, we call it gyros, but if I say gyros, many people understand better. Many people don't know why we call it gyros. Gyros means one turn. When the meat spins around, we call it gyros. It's not the meat. In a gyros, we can put any meat you want.
Different ethnic foods have come in, Indian food, Greek food, obviously Mexican food, but I'm not even sure there's anywhere on the street that you could actually find that kind of southern Texas food here anymore. Barbecue food, yes, there's barbecue food. But what is interesting is that in the space of a decade or so, the culinary options in this street have gone through an incredible metamorphosis. But the actual essence of the street, live music, vibrant music and a vibrant nightlife, that still retains. And of course with the apartment buildings going up, they will cater to young, affluent couples that want to buy quick packaged foods in delicatessen style, or coffee bars and things like that. So the food and the type of food that's being consumed here is really changing.
My quest for barbecue has failed. But in its absence, I found something even more American. A new use for the saying, "There goes the neighborhood." Call me harsh, but if in a few years Rosewood looks like this, you can't say, "I didn't tell you so."
I forgot what else